introduce electricity to modern life, humans just can't get enough of the stuff. Sometimes our demand overwhelms the system, and as millions of us have experienced, we find our
Can you guys hear me? Hello, Heather. Heather Reich. What's going on? This is probably a really, really strange thing to see right now, but it does have a point, I assure you. This is also kind of strange to watch myself doing stuff on a screen and everything like that. Well, anyway, the reason why I wanted to start it off this way is to showcase something, well, a couple of things over on the Cover Killer Nation on the channel page. Oh God, now it's all showing up.
Can you guys hear me?
Ah, now there's gonna be an echo. But sleep deprivation is certainly getting to me now. We are running close to 21 hours into the stream event. I have to keep an eye on Mittens over here. If he decides he wants to get out of sorts, I'm going to have him vacate, sadly. But I want to show you a couple things over here on the Cover Killer Nation channel page that is related to what is going on with the 24-hour stream. First off, obviously, right now, if you are a subscriber, you are seeing the fact that I am live now. Haha. But oh, he left, so I'm going to close this door real fast. First thing that you're going to see is going to be on the right-hand side of the screen. And we talked about this in last night's stream, but I like to always let people know. In fact, I'll probably mention it to people again throughout the stream. I know you guys are probably sick to death of hearing of this, but there is the whole fan funding idea available. And like I've been saying throughout the entirety of the event in videos and such, if there's ever a time that you're going to decide to do this, this is not something that I expect on the regular whatsoever. In fact, anytime it happens, I am really taken by surprise, and it's kind of a nice thing that they have, but it's not something that I expect. I don't expect you guys to keep me going, so to speak, mainly because I've even now that it is something that I am receiving sparsely, I still find the whole concept a bit silly. But with the way in which YouTube is kind of shifting the way it's doing things, I guess I understand the relevance, but I just don't think that this is a good long-term solution for the website. But that's just opinion. So that's really neither here nor there. It is available, though, for anybody who is who feels like doing that. I thank you in advance for all that. And you can probably see the second thing I'm about to talk about, which is right here. For those of you who are viewing this stream that perhaps missed some of the videos, and I guarantee you, I guarantee you that a lot of you probably have missed at least one or two, based around the fact that I know the reach over on Facebook has not been the best. It's been getting to about 200 of you, even though there's we're about 6,000 strong over on the Facebook group. I have a playlist of 24 hours of Cover Killer Nation 2015, which is not completely updated, by the way. The newest review, the newest video for Alkaloid's album, that is not yet a part of this playlist, but it will be. And there's another video that's going to be going up as we're live. It's going up at about 1:30 which will be added to that as well. What's really cool about these is that if you go into the actual playlist itself, there is the share option. You can share the entire playlist just like you would share a video. You can do that if you would be so kind as to do that with your friends and with other fans, with websites. I mean, I don't want to feel like you're just restricted. I don't want you to feel like you're just restricted to sharing with your asshole friends that probably have, you know, no care in the world. But if there are groups that you're a part of that allow you to post links and such like, or if there's any web pages that you manage or write for, by all means, feel free. I give you my expressed permission. You can even write on there, "This guy sucks ass. Go over and ridicule him." I don't give a crap, because I want all of the members of the nation. We are 32,000 strong on YouTube. As far as the subscriber base is concerned, I want you all to be able to see this stuff. And I understand that posting in a rapid fire manner such as this does not always ensure that as a possibility. So I want to make this available to everybody. That way they have the option. So for those of you who opt to do that, I thank you very much. I do recommend this very much so, very highly. It's a way that we can grow as a group, as a collective. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shift back over. I'm going to shift back over to myself here. Here we are. And we are going to get started with stream number 2. And my voice is definitely not what it was a while ago. So, Heavy Metal Kitty, that's right. Yeah, Mittens is my Heavy Metal Kitty. He's great. If I hear him outside during the stream, maybe I'll bring him back in and get him on camera, because it seems like every single time that I go to shoot some video or something like that of him, he clams up. And you kind of heard him a little bit right at the start there. You heard his very tired, very "I just woke up" meow, which is kind of hysterical. He reminds me of like an old lady who just wakes up and, you know, maybe she has the grandkids over for a slumber party or a sleepover, and she comes down and says, "Your kids ready for some breakfast?" Like she has that like 75-year-old like smoker's cough, but not a smoker, like voice to her. It's just that rawness of waking up. And it's kind of hysterical. He has so many different meows. He's got Siamese in him, obviously. From those of you who have seen the Mittens the Kitten introduction video, and he's not really a kitten anymore. He's 3, so do your cat years conversions. So anyway, I hope you guys have been having fun. I hope you guys have really been enjoying everything thus far. That is priority and goal number 1. I may not be the most entertaining man on earth. In fact, I know that I'm not. But 14 of you like me enough to be here right now, and I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate everyone who has been through all of this with me. For those of you who have stayed up, man, I marvel at you guys. Cheers to you for that. That is definitely a testimony to your own insanity as well as my own. I do want to speak very, very briefly about the last couple of hours of the event, because I do have a couple of videos that are already shot. So for the most part, whenever it comes to shooting, I'm pretty much done. I have one more that I need to shoot. And with 3 hours left and a video going up here in roughly about 28 minutes, actually 18 minutes, sleep deprivation, Jesus Christ. I actually right now have, there's going to be a lot. Okay, so I showed you that playlist for a reason, because it's going to be a good tool. I'm also going to update the Facebook page, obviously, still, even though it's not the best. And it's also going to be over on the Cover Killer Nation blog, which is now becoming a fixture underneath of each video that is uploaded. Not just the ones here for 24 hours of CKN, but for the others, because I'm going to try to use that as a tool to update maybe weekly I'll talk a little bit about the videos that maybe been posted within the past week, either that or just a topic of my choosing, whatever it may be. But there are a couple videos that I have in mind that I've already shot. So I'm going to actually spoil it for those of you who got here early, who got here on time. The first one that's going to be going up at 1:30 is a message to Sleeping with Sirens and Falling in Reverse fans. 2 years ago, we did one of these for Blood on the Dance Floor and the Black Veil Brides. And while those two bands are still insanely popular, there's no reason to do another video on them. In fact, I took this straight from the same grouping of comments from the Facebook page that I received and was talking about last evening whenever we did the first stream, whenever we were talking about annoying fan bases. And it got me to thinking about these two particular bands, because I was recently, 2 days ago, in fact, I was at the local Salvation Army, which is right down the street from my house. It's a place where you can get stuff for next to nothing. You know, this is stuff that's donated. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure that a lot of you do, and this explanation is kind of rendered stupid. And I was down there because my next door neighbor, who lives right across the hall from me, was getting he wanted to get a TV down there, and they were having a half-off special, so he was going to get a pretty nice-sized TV for like $8. And I wanted to go down there and ensure that he got it, because he had to work throughout the day, and I have not been, aside from all my work with this channel. And so I wanted to make sure that this TV was secured for him. And I went down there, and of course, I'm in a low-income area, so whenever they hear of something of this variety, they just all come out in droves. And what do I see? I see these two shirts for these two bands, Falling in Reverse and Sleeping with Sirens. I see them on multiple individuals that walk in. And I also saw a 40-something-year-old mother that was wearing a Green Day shirt and looked trashy as hell. But, you know, that's a little bit more fair considering the generation that she's from. I'm not revealing my age. I probably have in the past. So look that one up if you want. And I got to thinking that this is something that I see everywhere that I go. I mean, regardless of where I go, whether I go to a store such as a supermarket or just a regular store, I see it. I used to see it all the time at the mall, and I used to see it all the time at the music store whenever I worked there. I see it at Salvation Army. I see it here. I see it there. I see it everywhere. And one of the main reasons why I never talked about Sleeping with Sirens on this channel, aside from, you know, posting about how they're terrible, is because I hadn't listened to much. I was going based off of a lot of reputation. And so whenever I was thinking about it, I just decided to pop on a couple of tracks, and that was pure torture. That was bad. I had already heard some of the stuff from Falling in Reverse, and I've determined that 75 to 80% of that is completely unlistenable garbage. And it's just a real interesting idea. And Monster Can count at the end. By the way, right now we're up to 3. From yesterday to today, we're at 3. I limit myself with those to 2 a day. 2 is my maximum, regardless. The only reason why I may have to break that cycle today is because after I'm done here, I actually am not going straight to sleep. After I'm done here, I'm actually going to be involved in a bit of a home project here, involving my living room. Next door, it's the room that's directly across from this one, right next door, so to speak. And so I'm definitely going to need to maintain a little bit of energy in order to participate in that and help out, because yeah, my girlfriend's a tiny little thing. She can't move all that shit on her own. That's for damn sure. But anyway, this is the next video that's coming up. It'll be up in about 13 minutes is what the schedule is. So it will probably come to you within the next like 20 to 25 minutes. Considering it does take a little bit of time for that stuff to process. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. That way you don't see as much empty space in the background. By the way, the empty space in the background is going to change. All of the posters and such that I used to have over at the original CKN studio way back in the day, they have finally migrated their way over here, including what you've probably seen in the background, a very familiar sight. The United Abominations, big, bulky, massive a poster. If I just it's something where there's a good chance that if you watched any of the old videos, or in fact, you might not even be able to see it based around the, well, you know what, we're just going to do something like this. This sucker, this bad boy, I don't know how the hell I'm going to be able to pull this off, maybe just by doing this. This sucker is making a return. Oh, wow, you guys seen that perfectly. I'm watching my playback as this is going on, so if you're wondering what's going on. So that's going to be going back up. So that empty space is not going to be empty for long. But of course, whenever you see the playbacks from the camera, from my camera angle, you don't necessarily see all of that much. You see actually a little bit more from the webcam there, but obviously the quality is not quite as good. And now I'm watching myself struggle. It looked better whenever I just it was pulled from the couch. That was funny. So yeah, the Sleeping with Sirens and Falling in Reverse message video will be going up very shortly. And then I have a couple of others that will be going up. The first of which is going to be actually based off of a really close friend to the channel, and actually a really close friend to me as well, who I've met through the channel. He wanted a video, or asked about a video about Avant-garde, and he's a big Avant-garde guy. So this is going to be right up his alley. He's going to be a huge supporter of this, and so I made a little bit of a definition video, I guess, of Avant-garde, and started to talk about some of the bands and really how the subgenre has morphed throughout the years, and how actually, in a weird way, Avant-garde is one of the only styles of music that has lost a lot of the bands that really kind of made it up throughout the years, based around the fact that further subgenres began to exist, and they began to really culminate these bands and groups together and call it something different. Like, for example, you would consider Sun and Earth and really some of the droney Boris stuff avant-garde originally, because drone wasn't something that just instantly existed. Agalot could have been considered it for albums such as Pale Folklore, until, you know, later on, whenever they got a little bit more known and there was a lot more bands that were kind of doing that same thing. In the Woods is another great example. That video will be going up next after the Sleeping with Sirens video. That will probably be, I'm thinking, around 2:30 or 3 o'clock. And right around when the stream would go to sleep, or not the stream, but right whenever we hit 24 hours, I have a thank you video that I want to post to each and every one of you, and I hope that you guys get the opportunity to watch it. I hope you get to see it. I hope that YouTube and Facebook does not rob you of that opportunity, but if not, once again, I showed you, you have the option of the playlist now, and I'm going to share the playlist once everything is all said and done. And that thank you video was something that I actually shot while it's something that I shot while I was outside taking a break, actually waiting for a video to upload. So it was something where I just took the camera outside just in case something weird happened. And I felt the need to actually talk a little bit about everything and really let you guys all know, and I'll actually spell it out a little bit more, but still watch the video, obviously. What you guys have really kind of meant to me over the course of the past 4 months, considering I've been unemployed, and considering this has been basically my primary, one of my primary sources of happiness. Obviously, my relationship is another very large source of happiness. Having this place is a source of happiness. I'm not homeless. So obviously, I have done a couple of things, on the side here and there, a lot of stuff I haven't done since maybe I was in high school in order to really survive. And that gritty time is over, considering as of yesterday, I am employed and will be starting a new job within the next couple of weeks. So, but I have to thank all of you guys for your support, because I know that right before everything went down, right before the first part of February. There wasn't a lot of Cover Killer Nation videos. In December and January, there wasn't a lot. Now, granted, not a lot came out, but usually during that time, I try to do something a little bit clever or unique, or this is whenever I do a little bit of experimentation. And like, for example, last year, that's whenever we did Hail Spirit Noir's Oi Magoy. And that would have been an album I wouldn't have traditionally touched. But now, after doing that, I'm noticing so many people have been appreciative of that album being kind of either recommended to them or that album becoming something that they are aware of, because so many people seem to love that disc, and I do too. So all of you guys within that 2-month stretch, you could have just assumed, shit, he's done. You know, this is it. Cover Killer Nation now has officially become, there's just not enough time for him to do this any longer. But you didn't do that. Instead, you guys came back and came back strong. You came back stronger, actually, than before that time period, and just continued to kick ass and continued to just be fantastic. Continued to offer suggestions and offer requests that many of which I've no doubt never done. But, you know, just the thought means the world to me. You know, that's the reason why I look at stuff like fan funding and kind of scoff at it a little bit, because my desire and my expectation throughout my life is that if somebody gives something to me, I want to give something back. So even though most of you will no doubt say, and will be typing as we speak, Cover Killer Nation, you are giving us something back. You're giving us entertainment. You're pouring sweat in a hot room, and you're mulling your brain over potential ideas and topics, and doing the research and listening to albums, and at times torturing yourself. You do something for us. You don't have to do more for us. I'm still going to feel like I do. That's just how I am. So I'm insanely thankful. I'm insanely grateful. Like I said, please still view the video whenever it happens. Oh boy, stream froze right as I was getting all sentimental. What the world? Well, I'm waiting for this to rectify itself. Is this my internet, or is this just YouTube being a butthole? That metal channel asks a pretty good question, one that I may have never ever answered. Why do I wear the sunglasses with every video? Well, with most of all videos, probably about the new videos, it's 99% of the time. The reason for that is very simple, actually. Whenever my grandmother passed back in 2005, my father and I were commissioned with the responsibility of kind of maintaining the home for a little bit and going through a lot of stuff. And one of the things that we found was an old box that had some clippings from the older days and also some other assorted items and materials. One of the things that were that happened to be within that box was a pair of sunglasses that belonged to my Uncle Tim. And he used them whenever he was racing, because he raced like funny card type looking things in the 1970s. And I just adopted them as my own. And I just had them. I wasn't doing much with them. I figured they'd be nice for in the car. So eventually what ended up happening was that I was looking for something to kind of make the videos a little different, because I've never been totally, so I just figured, what the hell? What the hell? I will just I'll just try the sunglasses, and that's what I did. I'm going to refresh the stream real fast and see what happens. There is no bad weather. I think you just may need to refresh. I'm going to see what the screen looks like here in just a minute and give you the official no. Okay. If you're still able to hear it, flood the chat to refresh the stream. I don't know what happened there. The weather is actually beautiful right now. So I don't know what happened there. That's, God damn it. There it is again. There it is again. You've got to be freaking kidding me. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to close out a couple things now. Jesus Christ. Unstable as fuck. This is the benefit of having myself on playback, is that I can see whenever this decides that it's going to just be a little asshole and not freaking work. Now these comments are all the way back to the front. I'm getting the same ad over and over again. This is hysterical. This is like the funniest whatever. For those of you who can hear this, if there's anybody who can hear this, whenever you play it back on YouTube, is there any lag? Does the lag exist, or is that completely gone? Like, does it? It did it again. Oh my God. What an unstable pile of shit. This is garbage. And this is really annoying for me too, Kevin. Like I said, I hope that the playback on YouTube is actually solid, because this is on YouTube. This is kind of distracting the whole entire flow. We're down to 8 viewers. We've lost people because of this. So, well, not that I really blame you. Not that I really blame you. Wow. Well, that kind of blows everything a little bit. Man, oh man, what the hell is the deal? They strip some processes here, or is this just? I think this is just YouTube. YouTube is just being trashed right now, because I'm actually right now doing next to nothing aside from this. I'm not uploading any longer. I've always had Facebook up. I'm gonna update Facebook. We're going to try this again in about a half an hour. That is my decree. I think this is just YouTube. Playback's going to seem really, really wonky, but whatever. All right, I'm going to stop broadcasting for the moment. We're going to try again in about a half hour.